Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far. So for today's video, I've got a whole ton of Beauty Pie makeup to try. I'm going to be giving you all my thoughts on a whole full face of makeup from Beauty Pie. If you are unfamiliar with Beauty Pie, then let me give you a little bit of the tea. So to start off with, this is not sponsored, this video. Beauty Pie reached out to me and asked if I would collaborate with them, and I just said no. Kind of. I basically wanted to try the products. I was really curious about Beauty Pie. I'd heard a lot about them, but I just didn't want to have any kind of obligation to post or to post in a certain way or a certain time frame. I just wanted to be able to choose the products I wanted to try and try them organically without kind of any pressure or any kind of limits on what I could and couldn't do with the products. So the video is not sponsored by Beauty Pie, but they did let me go for like a supermarket sweep on their website, so they gifted me these products to try, and they also were very kind to let me have a discount code for you guys. So if you use the code Charlotte sent me on their website, you'll get £10 off either their monthly or their yearly fee. So Beauty Pie is an online retailer. They stock all kinds of makeup. It is quite a small range as far as, like, they've got, I think, one foundation, one tinted moisturizer. They've got a couple of cheek products, a couple of lip products. There isn't a ginormous range on there, but everything is at very, very low prices. So there's two ways to shop at Beauty Pie. The first way is it's like a members club. So you pay either a monthly fee, which is there's no commitment, you just pay for a month and then you have a month's access, or you pay an upfront, I think, annual fee and then you have a year access to these mega affordable prices. You can also shop the website without being a member if that's something you don't want to get involved in. Then you just pay like the regular retail price. So as I go through each product, I'll show you the retail price that you would pay without being a member and the member's price, because that's kind of where the beauty of Beauty Pie sits, is these membership prices are insanely low, very, very affordable. So yeah, I'm going to be trying everything out today for you and letting you know what my thoughts are on all the makeup I picked up. I also did choose a lot of skincare. Obviously that's going to take me a bit longer to kind of give you my thoughts on as I get to try it and try it over a longer period of time. But I have tried all of the makeup a few times, so I have my thoughts together on that to share with you today. So let's get started. So first up, let's talk about this WonderFilter Velvet Finish Primer Matte Canvas. Now I was a little concerned just because of the packaging of this, the fact that it has the word canvas in it, that it's going to be like a sort of dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas or something like that. So I guess there are some similarities. It has that canvas word in there, it's got a kind of similar packaging. That's pretty much where the similarity ends. As soon as I kind of swirl the finger in here, it completely feels different. This feels a lot more sort of lotiony, a lot more creamy than the Tatcha. The Tatcha kind of feels quite firm and it's quite a thick consistency. This is definitely a lot more like a moisturizer when you actually get it applied on the skin. I think this is a really beautiful primer. This gives me a really smooth and matte, as it said. I didn't even realize that it said matte canvas when I first used this, but that's the first thing I noticed. It kind of mattified my skin, took any shine away, smoothed everything beautifully, and I had no issues at all with pilling. So this is one of my favorite products out of the whole lot that I chose. I think this is a lovely primer. Foundation goes beautifully on top of it. I didn't have any issues with it going on top of skincare, even when I didn't leave as much of a gap as I would always like to. So this primer for me, I really enjoyed it. I think it's great and it's going to last a very long time because there is a lot of product in here and you need a tiny amount with these types of primers. But yeah, if you were curious, it's not similar to the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I feel like that one gives more of a sort of glow to the skin and a kind of healthy, hydrated look to the skin, whereas this one is more mattifying. So it may suit you more if you have an oilier skin type, but it definitely gave the same sort of smooth, poreless appearance to the skin. I also tried their WonderFilter Brightening Primer on the other side, and you can instantly see there's a huge difference between the two sides of my face with the two primers that I've used. This one absolutely does give a very healthy glow to the skin. Doesn't give that sort of smoothing or pore refining or texture blurring kind of effect that the other primer does. But if you're looking for glow and luminosity, this one absolutely did that for me. And you even can see once I put my foundation on, that glow is still there. So if you're looking for a bit of a glow boost or something you can mix with your foundation, then this definitely ticked that box. The packaging of this one is definitely a lot more basic than the Canvas primer. This one is much more weighty and feels much more luxurious. And this one is quite diddy as well, 30 ml, so it's quite small, so you will go through it quite quickly. But yeah, definitely the Canvas was my favorite primer. Let's talk about this foundation. One of the few products that I kind of had heard about from the brand before. My friend Lauren, who is the makeup maestro on Instagram, she raves about this. So I had high hopes because she definitely knows what she's talking about. And yeah, so I was excited to try. So the shade ranges on some of these products are a problem. There's definitely some inclusivity lacking as far as all of the shade ranges across the whole range of these products, and I found it quite hard and confusing to choose a shade. So that's the first thing to note. I went with the shade 450. I picked up a couple of shades to cover a couple of bases, which was a good idea because I think the other shade I picked was very, very yellow for me. And this one, as you can see, as it's going on, looks very yellow as well, but actually once it's all on and it's dried down and concealer and everything has gone with it, the shade actually looked really, really good on my skin. It just kind of all settled in and worked out. This foundation is made in Italy, and I've heard lots of people compare it to the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation, obviously a very iconic foundation, lots of people's holy grail foundation. This one is supposed to be very, very similar and have a very similar ingredients list. So if you're a big fan of the Armani Luminous Silk, then you'll probably love this one as well. This goes on so smoothly. I'd say it has more coverage than the Armani. That is for sure. That one's very much a medium coverage. This gives me easily a medium to full coverage. It does have that similar finish to the Armani Luminous Silk, as in it's not a glowy, dewy foundation. It's kind of a satin finish. It's certainly not matte. It's very, very smooth and fresh looking and healthy and skin-like in the finish. There's a couple of things that I don't love about it. The main one being how it looks on my forehead. I feel like it kind of exaggerates the lines on my forehead, and over the day it does slightly soak into like my smile lines and the lines, the horizontal lines on my top lip a little. Not dramatically, but it does wear very, very nicely, and the finish is gorgeous. This is a great foundation. I think it's a really, really nice one. And if you can find a shade that works for you, then it's definitely worth a try at that lower price point, because it is a really nice one. The weird thing about it is that you don't get a cap. It just comes like this with no lid. So that was a little bit confusing, but it does have a twist so you can lock the lid for travel. But yeah, I like the packaging. I think it's a really, really lovely foundation. Went on beautifully. Don't need a lot. A little goes a long way. Lots of good thoughts about this foundation. So next up for complexion, I went with the one palette Wonder, again made in Italy. This is the one that I chose. There are definitely only a few complexion products. I think that's kind of the smallest item that they have on their website, with only a few options. So I thought this was a good one because I could try bronzer, blush, highlight, and it also has 3 shadows in as well. So this has that sort of flat appearance to it with the like words kind of stamped in there. I will also say this is a really weird thing to include, but I know I'm not the only one. This really affected my trypophobia. Like it's hard for me to look at because it is like holes in the products. So that's just a side note. I know like lots of people suffer with that, and if you have that as well, then I would advise against this. I know that's a really bizarre thing to include, but it's just something that I really noticed, and is an easy thing that they could not do. That I don't know, they probably have no idea that that affects people, but it did. I didn't like looking at it. So all three of the complexion products in here, the bronzer, blush and highlight, are quite light and quite subtle. So I think this is really only going to work for you if you have like a fair to light medium skin tone. For me, it just, everything in here is a little light and needs a bit more pigment for it to show up how I'd like it to on my skin. The bronzer took a lot of building and then kind of looked a little off just because it was too light for me. The blush looked really, really nice. The highlight, just again, a bit too of an icy colour for my skin tone, but pleasantly surprising because it just wasn't too over the top and it's quite a soft, subtle glow. And I think a lot of the times when products are more affordable, particularly highlight, they tend to be like super beaming and almost overly pigmented, and that wasn't the case with these products. I feel like they were very buildable, soft and natural as far as the finishes, but the highlight was just, I mean, all of the products were just too light for me. The packaging on this one wasn't my favorite as well. It is quite very light and feels, I'd be a bit worried about traveling with it just because it feels like it would probably break, or it could break easily. But yeah, everything went on easily and fine, and I think if you had a fair or light skin tone, you'd probably love it a lot more. Next up, another one of my favorite products is the bunch that I picked up, and these are their eyeshadow sticks. So I picked up two shades. I got Brazilian Air and Huntress. Today I used Huntress for this demo. Let me just tell you, I swatched these on my hand earlier and then I tried to scrub them off with a wipe and they literally would not move. These do not budge. They're very, very quick and easy, and they're small enough with the applicator that you can use them under your lower lash line without any problems. Very quick, very easy. Stay absolutely put all day and do not crease. Hallelujah. I was very impressed with these. I thought they were going to be a mess. I thought they were going to crease because typically these types of products do, or certainly on me, you know, it's rare to find a cream shadow stick that doesn't crease throughout the day. These do not budge, even if you want them to. So this is Huntress, the lighter shade, and then we have Brazilian Air. Definitely one of my favorite products of the whole bunch. Really would recommend these if this is your kind of bag as far as eyeshadow. Very quick, one and done, and some of the better cream shadows that I've tried. So from one of the best products to one of my least favorite products, this is their mascara. This is the Massive Fan 360 mascara, and I think this is probably my least favorite of all of the products I tried. I just don't like anything about this mascara. The wand is a little strange and it picks up a huge amount of product, so you have to really, really wipe a lot of it off without, otherwise you're going to make a really big mess. I think it's really messy to apply and I just really couldn't get anything out of it. I feel like I'm lacking in length, lacking in volume and separation. It was quite tricky to apply. It feels like it's almost a bit dried out. Even the first time I used it, it felt like it was an older mascara kind of coming to the end of its life. And yeah, I just didn't really enjoy it at all. And I find it very hard, if not impossible, to use on the lower lashes. It's just not for me, this mascara. I know this isn't their most popular mascara, but the one that people seem to prefer was sold out, so I gave this one a try and it's just, yeah, it was not for me. But back onto a positive note, these are their like tinted balm formula. Oh, I love these. These are so creamy, pigmented, hydrating. I feel like my lips look plump and full and healthy and juicy and shiny and delicious. These are lovely. They apply beautifully. I picked up two shades. Today I'm wearing Honey Honey, which I think is my favorite. Just a really lovely, easy, everyday shade. The formula... Bye-bye. The formula of these really reminds me of Fenty's Slip Shines. If you're familiar with that, these are very, very similar to those. They're not shimmery, they are very much like shiny. So this is Nothing Nude and this is Honey Honey that I'm wearing now. Nothing Nude is just a little pinkier and Honey Honey is a little more of a sort of brown tone. I really, really like these. Like I said, they remind me of Fenty's Slip Shines, which is one of my favorite of those types of formulas. Definitely a hit. And then last up we have their setting spray. Now the first time I used this, I was like, I'm not going to use it again because it did splotches. There was a few heavier drops, splotches that landed on my face and left, you know, a splodge, so I wasn't a fan. Today, because I thought that was going to happen again, I gave it a really good shake and I did a practice spray. This is how I used to use the Marc Jacobs setting spray that famously left splodges. I gave it a really, really good shake, did the first spray for luck over my shoulder, and then soaked my face, waiting, expecting a splodge, a heavy drop to land, and none did. Today I got a really good fine mist over my face, even though I kind of did a lot more sprays because I thought that was going to happen and I wanted to really test it. No issues whatsoever. So it does come with a warning that that did happen. I did get some heavier splodges and some heavier drops that kind of messed up my makeup the first time I used this. I didn't today, so that would be my advice, is if you pick this one up, really good shake, practice spray over your shoulder or into the sky or into the air, wherever you feel like, before you go into your face. And that shouldn't happen. Then you should get a lovely fine mist. It's not overly scented. It's a nice fresh sort of skincare scent, very nice. Yeah, my only concern would be that I did get a few heavy splodges the first time I used it. So there you have it. Those are all my thoughts on these Beauty Pie products. Definitely some wins, definitely some hits and a few misses as well. I'd love to know what you guys have tried from the brand, what your favourite products are, what you recommend. Let us know in the comment section down below so we can see what's worth checking out and what to skip. For me, the standout products were quite easy to pick. I think the matte canvas is lovely, really nice primer. The foundation I really liked. These tinted lip balms are gorgeous. The shadow sticks, again, are some of the best that I've tried. So yeah, definitely those are kind of my recommendations from the products that I picked up. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye.